Oh, g'day guys, how you going? Today we're just going to be looking at exercise 5A and learning how to do derivatives with exponentials. So the two rules that are in your book is simply, if you have e to the x, then the derivative is simply e to the x. E to the function of something, then what you do is you simply just write e to the function and then you just times it by the derivative of that particular one. So let's do some examples. So obviously if you're looking at exercise 5A, now the key thing is you have to remember everything that you've done in calculus already, all the rules still apply. Alright, so in fact I think you'll find this stuff here is actually a lot easier than what you've been doing. Alright, so let's just do some anyway and just get the idea of what's going on. I'll just change this so I can get my colour in red. So if I do my dy dx for this first one, e to the x, well my answer is simply e to the x. Right, so number 2, dy dx for that. A number, like if we had 5x, it'd just be 5, wouldn't it? So here it's just going to be 5 e to the x. So it doesn't really change at all. This next one though, if we're looking at that, dy dx, we have to use the second rule, which is we simply write the function e to the 4x and then we times by the derivative. So the derivative of 4x is simply 4, which you would probably then display as 4e to the 4x. So it's pretty simple when you think about that. Over here, if we're doing this one, dy dx, that's going to be equal to, well, derivative of 7 is 0. Okay, then it's going to be minus 3e to the minus 2x, and then you times by the derivative of that, which is going to be minus 2. So then that's going to give me an answer of 6e to the minus 2x. Get the idea? So those are pretty simple, I think. I think you'll find that these functions are really easy to derive. The next thing that we're going to do over here is dy dx. For this one here. Now you identify we've got one function here and then we've got another function there. So we're going to have to use the product rule here. And remember that was f dash g plus f g dashed. Alright, so over here the first function we're going to have is derive that. It's going to give me 6x squared times by e to the 5x. So that's the first term, f dash g, and then we're going to do plus f, so that's going to be 2x to the power 3 times by g dash. Well, g dash is going to be simply e to the 5x times by 5. Alright, so you could simplify that if you want to. You could write this as 6x squared e to the 5x plus 10e to the 5x. 10x cubed e to the 5x. Now, quite often in these sort of things, you could bring out a common factor if you wanted to. So we could bring out x squared e to the 5x, and that would leave me with 6 take 10x. Now, you don't have to do that for the derivative. That first line there will give you 4 marks if you're doing that. Right, so if we go down to the next bit, if we're looking at this function here, obviously you could use the quotient rule here, okay, if you were doing that. So the quotient rule, remember, was, let's do dy dx. Get rid of that. So it's going to be simply f dash. Now, our top function is f, so that's going to be e to the 3x times by 3. Now, I'm going to put out the front. Once you get the hang of this, you'll get really quick at doing that. And then I have to times it by g, which is simply x. Take our f function, e to the 3x, times by our derivative of that, which is going to be 1. And that's all over x squared. Alright, so you get the idea? I could even do, let's do just one more, just so you get the idea of what's going on. So number 7, right, so y equals, let's do this, 1 plus 3e to the x cubed. Alright, and then that's to the power of 5. If I was going to then do my derivative for that, I would simply have to use the function of the function rule. So therefore that would be 5, 1 plus 3e to the x cubed. Okay, right, to the power of 4, and I have to draw what's inside the bracket, so that's going to give me 3e to the x cubed times by 3x squared. So you just keep it as step by step, and that makes life pretty easy for you. Alright, well, good luck with those questions in 5A. Make sure you certainly understand how to do that, and if you need some help, catch up with me.